Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Friday. Okay, guys, I'm sitting here with my little Visine and my chicken nugget because I'm like, I don't know what is going on. Last night, I want to say real quick a couple things before we bring up Ashley. The hurricane hit Florida last night. My heart goes out to anybody who was affected by that. I saw some of the photos. I grew up in Florida, Florida native. It is devastating. And I've never lived in South Carolina before like the last 2 years. So when the hurricane hits, I didn't realize the outer layers or bands create tornadoes. So last night you hear these like whoa, and like your phone is going off and my house is like shaking. And then my electricity went out. I'm like, I'm going to have to cancel on Ashley, but I might not even have to cancel on Ashley. I might be flying in the sky and end up in Nebraska. I didn't know what was going to happen. So for all of you guys, anybody who's affected, I'm sending all of the love and positive vibes to you guys. With that too, and I know this doesn't even seem like a right time to tell people this, but everyone keeps asking me about, you know what? Everyone keeps asking me about the whole Blue Mean stuff. I'm gonna share it with you guys really quick because they came out with a new product. I didn't know if it was appropriate or not appropriate, but in case you guys are on the other side of the country and you want to check it out, they did come out with a Face Pro 2.0. I actually prefer this one. I wanted to just share it with you guys because there's a heavy discount. It's normally $150. You guys can click on the button and change the settings. It looks different. It's sleeker. And it uses these little microcurrents like a vibration, and it lifts, illuminates, rejuvenates, and takes the inflammation out of your skin. Normally $150, but with my code in the link and also pinned in the comment section, you get $70 off. And if you don't love it, then you just get 100% of your money back. So it's a steal, and it's a company that honors. So let's welcome Ashley from Taste of Reality. Hello.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Good. I felt like I was like, let me hit all of these points really quick. And then I was like, this is not the time to do that. But then also, like, I do understand that while some things are happening in California with fires and earthquakes, like, then Florida is doing amazing. And then while Florida's getting hurricanes, then, like, the other side of the country is doing, but you can't win anywhere you go.
No, we're sitting pretty here in Las Vegas for once, but unfortunately, our friends in Florida, my business partner Imani is in Florida. Yeah. And as somebody who grew up in the South, I grew up outside of New Orleans. Growing up around hurricanes is no joke. Even if it doesn't hit your city, like the immense damage that it can do, the floodings, it's awful.
Yeah, it really is awful. It's so scary. I think even like last night with the tornadoes, this morning I woke up and I said to Jason, I always wake up every morning. I try to like inch out of the bed and not wake Jason up. But unfortunately, I have to get all 3 dogs up and take them downstairs and get them out. And then they wake up the house. And I went outside and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Like trees are everywhere, signs are everywhere. And I'm in a neighborhood right now that they're trying to build up. It's like a new neighborhood, and we got in phase 1, but there's 14 phases. So there's a lot of concrete and loose wood everywhere.
Oof.
And I felt so bad for the builders too, because I'm like,
Oh,
all of this equipment and all of this stuff, and for the people who already bought these homes, like your stuff is getting destroyed before you even get into it. So yeah, I mean,
terrible.
Like, but that's also, at least you're not in it. Then you think about Florida, and I see people like walking through water carrying like little clear baskets with their puppies in them and stuff. And I'm like, I hate natural disasters. It just like, it kills me.
I hate it. Mother Nature, what are you doing to us? This is not okay.
Yeah. What did we do to you?
Well, we've done
global warming.
Yeah, okay. She's like, bitches.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, I'm hilling.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Mother
hilling.
Nature's hilling. Sorry, that should not be made a joke of. Like, natural disasters are not funny. I shouldn't have brought that up, but that's where my mind goes. I'm sorry.
No, but also too, everybody who's watching this right now, by the way, 200 in the room, guys, smash the like button, show some love. Everyone knows that nobody would make a joke out of this. And if you did, you don't have a heart. I just think that this is an escape for everyone.
Right.
And
That's the
that's
thing. I have to distract myself, and this is a coping mechanism for me. That's how I deal with things. And yeah, I'll
yeah.
talk about it with my therapist.
Uh,
Doing that work.
okay. So I think we should start with the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Let's do it. Last night was a great episode.
You go first. What would you rate last night's episode 1 to 10, 10 being the highest?
I'm gonna say a solid 9. I thought it was fire. A lot happened. There was still a lot of backstory. I cringed. My mouth was agape for like maybe 10 minutes of the episode. There was a lot of just jaw-dropping moments, and I thought it was quality television. I am not a Tamara fan. I think she's great for the show, but I don't think she comes across like a great person or anybody I'd really care to know in my life. I think Ryan comes across probably maybe worse. I mean, the red flags are red flagging, but boy, I don't think that we'll get into it deep, but yeah, to answer your question, I thought it was a great episode. How would you rate it?
I mean, I would probably rate it a solid 8.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think the part that probably disturbed me the most was the ending.
Oh,
Because going through the episode, there are moments where I love Gina Kirschenheiter and her relationship with Britt. My parents, when they were divorced, I look at this through a lens, like something that I can try to relate to. And I think we all do that in a little bit of a way while watching these shows. Like, it's like when Luann got a DUI, or somebody's going to rehab, or somebody's fighting for custody, or somebody's getting a divorce, or like Bethany Frankel selling part of her business for $100 million. It's totally relatable. So we we sit there and watch, and seeing her relationship with Britt, even though it wasn't a main talking point for me, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is great for TV. This is great for people to see. You're prioritizing your children and understanding that relationship is gone, but we can move forward.
mm-hmm. Oh, it was beautiful watching those two women just celebrate one another, and how they contribute to the overall good of their children was so mature. It was wonderful to see.
And also, Britt she has this Kelly Dodd look to her. I don't know.
She is beautiful, and she does look very much like Kelly Dodd.
Which, by the way, guys, if you were watching the Rick and Kelly show live this morning, I was going to pick up, every morning I go and pick up a sausage, egg, and cheese. I pick up 4 shots of espresso, and I get Jason's coffee, and I get Jason a BLT. That is how we start our morning. And I'm sitting there, and Kelly messages me, and she said, "Hey, can I FaceTime you?" And I'm like, I just pulled in. I'm in my underwear. And that's how I drive, which is terrible if I ever got arrested. But that's how I drive. And so I was like, yeah, I'll FaceTime. And they're live while trying to get me to help them with the StreamYard, connecting it. And we're dying trying to figure it out. So they finally got it. Rick and Kelly, I love you guys. You're so funny, and happy belated birthday. Kelly Dodd's birthday was yesterday. So
I just feel relieved hearing anybody else with technological issues, because I am so bad with technology. I just am like, it's not just me.
It's not just you. No.
Because people are like, oh, it's so intuitive. And I'm like, if I can't do it, it's not intuitive. Like, it might be intuitive to you, 22-year-old, but like, some of us weren't born with iPads. Thank you.
Yeah. We go back to the Palm. Okay.
We talk Palm Pilots in this house. Okay.
Yeah. That's where we're at, you guys. But even going over to Shannon Bedore, watching her with Archie and sitting there and watching how everything's crumbling, I had a lot of empathy for her too, because I thought in my head, I'm like, man, so many of us, and I'm seeing the comments where people are being so hateful, but so many of us have opportunities where we've either have opportunities to F up, or we've been exposed for effing up, and then we've had to pay the consequences for them. Shannon Bedore is not like living on an island by herself for the only person who's made a mistake, and the way that Bravo did her this year with bringing on Alexis Bellino, was it shady and shitty? Yes, but they are making a great TV show by doing so, and this is a business. You signed up to be a part of a business. So I see that. But then watching what the ramifications of all of these decisions including her own, plus how everybody's reacting to them, plus the network that she works for, bringing in this other situation with the lawsuit and everything. I'm like, man, like, I feel like I would implode. Like,
It was
I
like
would have checked myself into rehab then.
right. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it was an avalanche of just shit and drama and chaos and mess on Shannon. And it's too much. It's too much for any human being. I have to say, as a person with multiple animals, I have 3 dogs myself. Animals are the best versions of us. And seeing Archie get his little carrot snack in bed and go to bed with Shannon, like dogs truly are like greater than any. Honestly, the best the best living creature on Real Housewives of Orange County is Archie. That dog
Yeah.
is like a literal angel on this earth. But it was really hard. And the fact, not only did they bring Alexis in for the intent, it's good TV, but they knew what they were doing bringing her in. To take Vicky out was gross. That I didn't mind them bringing Alexis in. I understand what they're doing. I'm very grateful that Vicky came back to shoot as much as she did because Shannon deserves an ally. And thank goodness I feel like Emily and Gina have stepped up for her, especially Gina. She really didn't need to. And they've both been incredible and supportive and empathetic and friends that I would want to have in a situation like that, which is the opposite of Tamra and Alexis.
But this is also why when people disagree with me on and talking about bringing on Kelly Dodd, this is one of the reasons why I say Kelly Dodd would have also been an ally to Shannon, and Kelly Dodd would have shut Alexis down in 2 seconds. Kelly Dodd also would be a formidable opponent to Tamra Judge, which I don't think exists in this moment. Like on the show, I don't think she has a real one, and that's why. So I get a lot of shit for saying that, but if we're talking about making great TV and we're going to bring in Alexis and John and all of that, then that also would have made great. That would have been the icing on the cake for me.
I agree that there's no formidable opponent for Tamra. Like there's nobody who's going to be able to match her mean energy, her mean, aggressive, big energy. Would Kelly be able to take it on? Yes. Is that direction the direction that I would like to see the Housewives go? No. I'd rather see more of the Jennifer Pedranti. She is a kind heart. She is a sweet soul. I feel she is being just, I'm so worried that this situation with Ryan is going to just end terribly for her. And I would rather see somebody like her that I'm actually cheering for. And she's, trust me, it's not that she doesn't have her own drama, but I would rather see something like that than just people constantly on attack mode. Like I feel that Tamra had a real major Kelly Dodd moment last night on Watch What Happens Live. It was a throwaway comment that a lot of people wouldn't have heard, but she said, and Andy actually cut her off and just kept on going through. I wrote it down because I was like, oh, she just said that. She was trashing Ryan and she said, he gets his hair tattooed. Like among all the things they were talking crap about Ryan, again, red flags flying. I'm not here to defend Ryan, but just spewing hatred. Like he gets his hair tattooed. Like,
also what makes me nervous for Tamra was she said on Watch What Happens Live, like you're saying that my husband doesn't have a job. Actually, we have businesses that make more money than you stole from like the MLB player. And I'm like, if in fact he gets proven to not be guilty of this, he has a clear defamation lawsuit. And you've already done this with Jim Bellino. Like that makes me so nervous for her. I'm like, I know you're making a lot of money. I know 2 T's in a pod is and I don't want to see anybody sued. I don't want to see money taken out of Tamra's pocket. I never want to see that.
no.
But like it does make me nervous. It's like that you're teetering on a fine line here of like this could be defamation. This could be something where he all of a sudden gets exonerated of anything and then comes back and says, okay, well now I'm having a hard time getting, work or with my business because of these things that were said about me. And I want damages and then go after her. So it's something that like, I'm like, this is a very bold move to do.
I don't know if you saw my post this morning on tasteofreality.com. Actually, an Instagram user at Bravo versus Everybody. I have not been following like the backstory of Ryan so much. And I thought Bravo versus Everybody put out a really good post today. I reposted it, added some commentary, but they detailed what happened, how Ryan is involved. Do you know this, Adam? Can I give just a
I
quick snippet
Yeah,
in
yeah,
case
yeah. Oh
people
my
don't
God,
have the context?
please.
So it involves this baseball player from the Dodgers and his translator. They were, I don't know exactly understand how this happened, but they were stealing people's like players' money. What happened is that they were funneling, how is this deal with Ryan? That money was being funneled through to Ryan and Ryan's businesses. So that's how this is happening. From what the post said, and Ryan actually slid into the comments and said, everything you're saying is true. Like, thanks for speaking facts, something to that effect. It said that Ryan is working with the FBI. And yes, there is some involvement because he's working with them. So that tells me, okay, he's working with them, and that's supposed to put like a positive spin on it. But from what I know from watching a hell of a lot of TV, they only really put you in those situations to where you, and he is allegedly getting immunity. You're only getting immunity because you were somehow involved. From my understanding, you're
Right.
somehow involved, and they're going to get information from you in exchange for this immunity. So while I think this post, he was flexing like, hey, look at what she said. It's not so bad on me. And he even in her comment, or I don't know if it's a man or a woman, Bravo versus Everybody, they said, he has a defamation suit. Like they put that in there and he agreed with all of it. So I'm just saying this because I think there might be validity to what you said.
Well, and then also too, if you guys remember going back to Jen Shaw, her assistant Stu, he's still right now cooperating with the feds and trying to get either a lesser sentence or immunity, which we're going to find out about. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, but I did actually at the end of the day, because I want to get to like the main ish of last night's episode.
Yeah.
It was, oh, before we get there, there was also another moment that I think that Heather Dubrow is probably not going to be happy with. And it was the way that Dr. Terry talked to her on camera and the fact that they aired that. She was like, Heather Dubrow is one of those people where it's total Stepford Wives, like, this is my life. My life is perfect. We have kids, we have little arguments, but like everything is supposed to be portrayed as like, this bow is perfect. My kids' shoes are perfect. They're tied perfectly. They're tucked in perfectly. When you go to bed, like everything is supposed to look a certain way for Heather.
Her
And
world is curated, period.
period. Yes. And for him to have these little moments where he gets frustrated and he's like, you talked to Gina about this 3 times. I'm good on it. Like, I don't, and then he kind of dismissed her, and then playing that, the little hot mic moment, I was like, you guys, you're going to piss her off.
Oh, production. I don't want to say did her dirty because it's reality TV,
Yeah.
but my mouth, first of all, I couldn't believe Terry said anything to her about like, and first of all, good for Terry. And that's a sign of love when you're like, and Heather's a person, she's always talking about growing and being a better version of herself, which I appreciate. You sometimes need people that you love to call you out for shit. He said something that was true. She was talking over him and he doesn't feel a need to continue making his point if it's not going to be heard. He did nothing wrong. Her going out there, and what did she say? Don't admonish me. First of all, I love Heather Dubrow so much for being
With her vocab.
Her vocab, don't admonish me in the moment. But they went from like cutesy, oh, look at the doctor. He's going to be the patient for once. Oh, cute banter, cute banter. Don't admonish me. And then it goes right back to being with the surgeon and it's cute banter, cute banter. Oh, I want him to look like George Clooney. Oh, is he okay to go under anesthesia? It was just curated. Here's the behind the scenes reality, back to the curated life of Heather Dubrow. And I loved it. The breaking of the third wall on that was tremendous.
I mean, I'm telling you, I thought it was great. I'm just telling you, Heather Dubrow definitely sent out a letter this week.
Oh, she's pissed.
She is pissed. She is pissed. She definitely. definitely is pissed. But all right, so now as we get to the final part of the episode, because I think that was the biggest moment, I am finding Emily to be a lot more messy now that she is working with the twats. She definitely is.
He is a twat now.
Yeah, she is a twat now.
Literally, she's on the show.
She is one of the twats. She is an honorary member of said twats. It's a little polyamorous twat session. But she was waiting for them to get in. She's sitting there having her drinks. And obviously, you guys know her husband is Mormon. He does not drink. He'll have like a Sprite or something. Never does, never will. Doesn't like to do it. And then Tamra, also, they know that they have to make this moment. She's drinking the martinis. Shane and Eddie look so annoyed, like, stop. God, stop. I'm trying to help you, but without saying it on camera. Like,
oh my God.
Heather and, like Dr. Terry, like, I don't want to have this moment where I'm telling you on camera, but like, please stop.
Those two, again, an act of love is calling out your partner and watching their back and always being supportive of that person in the moment. And while people are like, oh, they were like shaming your drinking or whatever, I'm like, no, they're trying to save you from embarrassment. And in Eddie's case, potentially saving you from a lawsuit. So I loved Eddie telling, is Katie's husband named Matt, I believe? Matt?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Matt, he told his wife, first of all, he didn't make it a public thing. He went straight to his wife and said, stop the drinking. It's enough. And then after she continued, he's like, okay, I need to do damage control. Let me tell Matt to, politely cut her off. And I am appreciative of that because that's exactly what needed to happen in that moment. But it was just so hard to watch, especially for Tamra after talking about Shannon and her drinking all season. Like, do you need to drink to be able to be interesting on TV? Why do you feel in that? That's what I don't appreciate about Tamra. And that's why I don't like the guys of Jersey. And I know that's a controversial opinion, but when every scene is starting off with you drinking to like develop a personality, I'm not interested.
Well, that's what happened with Brandi Glanville. Brandi Glanville had to self-medicate to do any scene. And that's why when you see her, she comes on and she's like, no, what?
My queen, Sonia Morgan, same thing.
Like that's why, yeah.
It's too much. When you show up to the event loaded, it's too much. They picked up Sonia in the limo and she was already drunk before she even got on the road to go to the event. It's too much. I'm not saying there's not a place for it, but that's not what I'm interested in as a viewer in watching.
No, and it also, like I think that it would be a lot more productive if we did eliminate the drinking. And also, by the way, guys, Jason and I are guilty of this too. Jason saved a life when one time we were at an event and I had somebody who like really wanted to have a moment with me. And I was like looking like, no, we're not letting high school Adam come out. This is new and improved and we lead life with love and we're happy and you're not gonna get me out of my face. And
we're not going Bad Girls Club here.
It got pushed and I was like, okay, Bad Girls Club, here we go. This is it.
Oh no, and she's pulling off her earrings, guys. Watch out. She means business.
And Jason was like, and like completely put that shit under control. But we both have done that for each other because that's your partner. They look out for you and you look out for them and completely get it. But I really think in last night's episode that Tamra and Eddie lost that argument. I do. Can I explain why?
Please, I'm very curious to hear this. Thank you. Please, I'm dying.
Okay, so All About the Real Housewives podcast.
Yes.
Ryan did the podcast and it was, their arguments were, one, you talked about Eddie as a businessman and two, you talked about her kids. Okay. So when the Eddie as a businessman comment came up and they played the clip, if in fact Bravo and the editors are putting in the right clips, because I didn't listen to the podcast, and it was, when I first met them, I didn't hear the best things about Tamra and Eddie. Like I didn't hear great things about them. Well, Eddie has already said that he heard about Ryan, that he likes to sleep with other people's married wives, and that's already been on TV. So if Ryan did a tit for tat, I'm all about a tit for tat. Like, he didn't talk about you as a business person. He just said he also didn't hear great things about you guys. So I felt like that was a little like, my God, we're making a mountain out of a molehill. And then you questioned me as a mother. And Ryan's like, I don't think I did. And then it went to the clip on All About the Real Housewives talking about her as a mother and their family. And he said, you know what? I'm not in their home. I don't know. And I don't want to speculate on that. Yes, did he have a post about Ryan? Sure. But I get where he was comparing the Ryans, and Ryan is older than me. Ryan is a grown ass man, and Ryan is in his 30s. Ryan can handle himself. And it's like the same thing with Gia. There's a lot of controversy around Gia Giudice being on the Real Housewives of New Jersey because you're like, that's my kid. Well, your kid is the same age as other housewives or other people who are on the shows. So at this point, yes, that is your blood. And was it a stupid post? Sure. But also, you guys go on the twats and you ream the guy.
Well, that's the thing. And it's not even just on the twats, it's everywhere. She goes on every single platform she can get herself on to talk trash about anybody for clicks and ratings. And that is Tammy Sue's MO. She's very successful at it. She is a master at saying what needs to be said to get written in the articles for you to cover on Up and Atom. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing. That doesn't make, I thought the post that Ryan made about her son, Ryan, which the post was made when he was 18, which is technically adult, but he is a very poorly developmental human, in my opinion. And therefore, because he's 18 does not say that necessarily he was cognitively, developmentally prepared to do something like that. To have that brought out, like, I'm sorry, if you bring that up without somebody's permission, like, even if it's already out there, I think it's tacky AF. And
it was tacky.
I hate that Ryan brought it up. But but the thing is, and I agree with you, Tamara's horrendous to everybody. She sees no mercy. You got to take it.
But then also, the only thing that I have to go back to is the last season with Tamara talking to Jennifer Padranti and bringing up, you know, like, did you care about your kids when you were cheating on your husband? And you also brought up kids. So I'm like, if anybody is the most innocent in all of this, who's owned their shit the most, who's not keeping this feud going, it's Jennifer Padranti.
The only one.
She is the one who's like, guys, like, Eddie, I love you. Like, come on, we trained together. And like, Ryan, shut up. And Tamara, stop. Why are you doing this?
Yes.
And Tamara's like, no, you little bitch. You little bitch. You little bitch. And it's like, and Ryan's like, that's how you talk at a dinner? To like, why are you? And yeah, it is. Because my husband's not a little bitch. I was like, guys, we need to cut the alcohol in this moment. Like, Shannon Bedore was watching this episode last night being like, for sure, it came out of her mouth 100%. And I don't even know Shannon Bedore like this. She said, oh, and I'm the one who has the drinking problem. She definitely said that last night.
And I'm not saying anything about Emily because Emily has not attacked Shannon all season, but the fact that that has been the backbone of Tamara's existence this season has been but Shannon and her drinking. And for her to pull this was hideous. A hideous, hideous mess. Oh, I can't handle martinis. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Like, you can't handle adulting.
She said that she only drinks, she doesn't really drink. She mainly only drinks like when she's doing the show. Like, in her regular life, she doesn't drink. And I'm like,
get a personality.
I feel like that's an easy cop out. But then also, Tamara, one thing that I can relate to Tamara on is I am a victim of, guys, this is going to get emotional. And I'm sorry, I'm a Cancer. No, it's okay. I'm a victim of instant karma. And instant karma got her ass the minute she walked out the gate and she fell over. And I was like, that's me, Tamara. I'm the same. I'll say something to Jason and I'll walk out. And Jason and I were just joking right before I came on here and accidentally put up my little bubble with Ashley. And I was like, I was saying something and Ashley was like, are you talking to me? It's like, no, I'm talking to Jason. But I was walking out the door and Jason said, I said, close the door because he's laying in bed with the dogs and they're all laying on top of him. And I was like, I already got you a BLT and a coffee. You get up and close the door. And then I was like, don't be a little bitch. Like, just joking. Like, obviously, after watching last night, we watched together. We were joking about it. And as soon as I go to close the door, I literally turned around and I had the other closet door open and I smacked my face on it. And I was like, fucking instant karma. And Jason laughs. He's like, always. If you say anything, it always, I get it within 30 seconds. That bitch, whoever she is, she gets me.
Oh, that's hysterical. And that reminds me of Tamara after she stormed out of the thing last night out of Katie's house. She's like walking down the stairs in front of her porch and like, eat shit. And I was like, yeah, there you go. That's what you get for being so damn messy.
Yeah. That's
Speaking
what
of mess, can we say something from early in the episode? Like one of the very first scenes I thought was so telling. Alexis Bellino was awful. The fact that the beginning of the episode was her, we don't know that, but like her going around saying, tomorrow it's going to happen. Tomorrow it's going to happen. Wait and see. It's going to happen. It's going to be really bad for Shannon tomorrow. And then the People magazine thing comes out and Alexis wants us to believe she has nothing to do with any of this, the lawsuit, whatnot, after she was involved at the time with Jim Bellino at the time of their lawsuit. She's involved at the time with this lawsuit with Johnny J. And she was threatening tomorrow's the day it's going to come out. I can't believe this woman wants us to believe that she thinks we are so stupid as an audience that we're not going to realize that she's trying to pull a quick one on us, that, oh, she's an innocent in this. Like I hate my intelligence being insulted like that. Shame on you, Alexis.
Well, and then I was also going to say too, with her, I know Shannon was saying it's sometimes you guys, they have to word things for the viewer who might not necessarily understand all of the ins and outs of the business. Mm-hmm. And she was saying, I think that was Alexis's PR team who put that information out. Right. But I don't think Alexis has a PR team. I think that Alexis has a contact at People magazine. So I don't think she has a PR team. I don't think she has a manager. I don't think she has an agent. I don't think that she has a job. I don't know.
That was some Vicky Gunvalson of you. She doesn't even work.
I mean, she's like, guys, this in my career, and I'm like, this is more like a gig. Like, I don't know if you would call this a career, but
it's a gig. A gig is the perfect word. You're not even a special guest star. Yeah. Because a special guest star has notoriety.
Yeah. You're a friend.
Oh my God. And then Emily breaking the third wall in that episode saying you're a friend. Dude, that's amazing television. I am so glad we are getting this.
I mean, oi. Okay, well, at the end of the day, I think if I felt bad for anybody, it was just poor. Well, Katie was enjoying it. She was eating it up. But Matt was just sitting there like,
poor Matt.
We just moved to OC. Like, he's like looking at his wife like,
who are these creatures?
Are these the people we want to be in with? Guys, my allergies are killing me right now. I'm so sorry.
I really thought you were going to cry earlier and you were joking. No. But like, I literally, like, you really had me.
Yeah, well, my eyes look like they're going to cry right now. I don't know. My contacts are like killing me, but that's okay. I just want to make you guys aware that I'm not going to cry.
Thank you. I'm so worried about you.
But no, for Alexis too, I'm like, even the shit that like makes me so annoyed about Alexis is like, it's like, I can't right now. And this is going to be so hard tomorrow. You know who it's hard for? The woman who's literally on her own financially, who has no man by her side, who's putting her daughters through school, who's dealing with her ex-husband, who's an asshole, who's also dealing with his own legal issues.
Two asshole ex-husbands.
Right. And also is dealing with like having to do all of this community service and everything, which, by the way, self-inflicted. She did that. But she has a lot on her plate. And you're sitting here and you're like, I got brought on as a friend of, I'm a mom, I have my house, I have Johnny J. And, you know, Johnny J is suing his ex. And now I got brought onto the show because Johnny J and his ex. So now that gave me an opportunity. But I am so upset about this. And the fact that you said I wear a size 2. And I'm like, no.
I've wanted to pick her up and like throw her. Like I would have thrown her into a wall at that moment in time. She made a bad situation 100 times worse.
She said, I'm a wounded bird. Yeah.
She said like, that.
I'm a wounded bird. You're not a wounded bird. You're a thirsty turtle.
A thirsty turtle. Like somebody
Yeah.
put an IV in this turtle's arm. She's thirsty. She's dehydrated. Wow. A wounded bird is such colorful language coming from wallpaper. She is literally just a pretty thing in the background. Like she contributes nothing but annoyance and chaos
She
and
won't be back.
thirst. Oh, she's terrible. And it's not like there's not like a fun disliking her. That's the thing. A lot of the women are fun to dislike, or you like them one moment and you dislike them another moment. There's nothing redeeming. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, no offense, and I don't like talking about people like this, but you sound like a moron. You sound like a moron, and you sound like you're trying to. This is a try-hard. You're a try-hard and a thirsty turtle. So we're gonna call you try-hard, thirsty turtle. An alliteration.
Try-hard, thirsty turtle. I love it. I love the alliteration. Coming for it.
We're coming for the alliteration, but guys, we're gonna end up moving on because obviously it was a great episode, but a shit show. But we have a few more things to cover, like the fact that this upcoming week we get the new episode of The Real Housewives of New York. And our taglines are here. Thank you to All About the Real Housewives. This was the easiest way for me to show you guys. Our taglines are here, which kind of throws me off a little bit. I'm like, why are our taglines here for Roni before we even got the first episode? In Salt Lake, we're going into episode 3 next week, and we still don't have taglines.
Imani and I had this conversation yesterday. Make it make sense. Like we're trying to
okay, so you talked about this.
Yeah, we did. Like, we're trying to create timely content. And it's like, why would you do this? You switch it. Like, we're ready for Housewives of Salt Lake. We're not ready for New York. Bravo. Please help us out. But we love the taglines. I think the girls nailed it. Not all of them, but most of them.
Well, I told Jason, I said, I think that these are really good. And he's like, I'll be the judge of that.
There was one that I thought was really bad.
Okay. We're going to ask the live chat. I'm going to go through them, and then we're going to ask which one is their favorite. Then I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to see if we're on the same page of which one is our least and our most favorite.
Okay.
So Brandon Whitfield said, why date their dad when you can just be mother? Aaron Leachy said, in the cocktail of life, a New Yorker is never shaken nor stirred. Jenna Lyons said, not everyone can be Jenna fucking Lyons, but they can try. Uba Hassan said, love looks good on me, but darling, what doesn't? Jessel, I'm not up and coming. I'm already there. Sai said, I may be hungry, but at least I'm not thirsty. And then our newbie, just like a painting, you'll never need, just like a painting, you'll need a couple of looks to figure me out. Wait. What happened to Rebecca?
Did they make her a friend? If she doesn't have a tagline, they made her a friend. Was she supposed to be full-time?
What?
She was supposed to be full-time, right? Like she wasn't hired as a friend, was she?
She's doing full-on page 6, like promote. I would have thought Rebecca Minkoff.
That's a huge name. As a fashion girly, she's a huge name. Like that's a great get from that universe. Right. I'm gagged.
I totally.
She's come across terribly. People hated her because, if you didn't know, she's a Scientologist, and that just before anything, people are like, "I hate her. She's a Scientologist." But where I have a bad feeling from her is the disaster of telling Jenna effing Lyons to let's start some drama, and Jenna effing Lyons, being the queen that she is, says, "Yeah, I'm disengaging. I don't fake fight."
Yeah, I mean, okay. Wait, by the way, I see who, or I see where people say, aren't there taglines given to them? It depends. They can be given to them. They can also, a lot of times they're asked to submit 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, Bravo and NBC, the network as a business, obviously they have all of the control, and they will pick and choose what makes the most sense. So if maybe you submitted 3 and you didn't like it, they will give you one, and then it is what it is. Like you don't get to do anything about it. But so favorite first.
My first instinct was Bryn. I love Bryn, and I think the mother thing, like I think it's young, it's trendy. We call, the women that we love. It's a big thing in the gay community, Oh my God, Lady Gaga is mother, Lana Del Rey, mother. So the fact that she's playing on the whole, like I'll date your dad with mother as a gay icon herself, iconic. Also, my least favorite cast member, I'm not a person who's like, ew, fire them because I don't like them. I just don't like her personality. That doesn't mean she's not good at her job. Size was fantastic. I might be hungry, but I'm not thirsty. Like, girl, yes, love.
Yeah. I think that honestly, my favorite was probably it was probably between Raquel Chevron
Hmm.
because I like this just like a painting. You'll need a couple of looks to figure me out. I think that that's cute, quirky, but I also really, really loved Bryn's. I don't know
Ugh,
Raquel yet, so I'm gonna lead with Bryn. But my least favorite in this one,
I bet we have the same one. Say it on three. One, two, three. Aaron.
Jessel. What?
I hated Aaron's. I
Not
think it's
everyone
like,
could be Jenna fucking Lyons, but
oh,
they
why did I
can't.
say Jenna? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've got Jenna
Oh wait,
effing
did you say
Lyons on my
Aaron? You
mind.
said
I meant
Aaron.
Aaron. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
No, you said Aaron.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, and I said Jenna. Sorry. In the cocktail of life, a New Yorker is never shaken nor stirred.
What the F does
See,
that mean? Are you riding the fence, Karen Huger? Like, can you please tell me like I'm five? I don't get it.
I see. Mine was I'm not up and coming. I'm already there. I'm like,
I think because of the what's this? Where does Robert De Niro have all of his buildings in New York? What's that neighborhood?
oh, Soho,
Maybe what is the neighborhood in
Tribeca.
season Tribeca? I think it was
Yeah,
a joke based on the Tribeca conversation from
mm,
season one. Like
it
Tribeca's
was.
up and coming. That's why I thought it was funny.
It was okay. It was that totally makes sense. See, this is why you guys need multiple lenses to like dissect these things. That
Yeah.
makes sense. But I'm gonna give it to the ladies. I love that you guys got your taglines ahead of time, and I hope that you guys have an amazing season because that's what we wish for you. That way, we have content to talk about. So
Did you
no,
notice? I'm sorry. Did you notice how they were holding their apples? Like traditionally, they've all held their fruit like this. And last season, Jenna was the only one. She was like holding it like this or like threw it up in the air or something. And this season, each one of them is posed a different way. And I just think it is so New York. But my one criticism, this is a criticism on Bravo. Oh, I
yeah,
love chicken nugget. Hey, boo.
yeah,
My
it's like
one criticism I would have to say is that why would they have the legacy Roni with red apples? Why wouldn't you come back with green apples for the new cast?
that's a great that's a great question.
I
You and
know.
I are really shocking each other today. Like, where's Rebecca Minka? Why don't we have
Yes.
green apples? What's going on?
And especially now with the the Brat album and the song Apples, and the fact that like they are like the epitome of like that brat lifestyle, like we're doing it our way. Like I think it's just, yeah. Bravo, please listen to us. Like we've got suggestions.
Yeah, Kathy even said green apples would have been so smart.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks, Kathy.
Can you imagine they have somebody who like fucks up on social next year and they try to do like the new intros and they're like green apples, yes. And they go and get like a bunch of like green pears and they're like, no, guys, yeah, damn it, we missed the mark again. This was not it. It wasn't the pear.
They come out with kiwis, which
Yeah.
aren't even green on the outside, which would be even more ridiculous. It's got a fuzzy brown exterior. So yeah, Bravo, get your life together. We're obviously our hopes are going right down the drain.
We're trying to figure it out with you guys. But all right. So moving on. I don't know if you guys saw this, but if you didn't, Teresa Giudice talked about on her Turning the Tables podcast that she sat down with the psychic. In sitting down with the psychic, she kind of rubbed me a little off. I'm not gonna lie, but she kind of reminded me the psychic, which I I'm trying to preface this. I had Gina Marie on, who's the spiritual medium who is
Mhm.
on New Jersey. She told me a lot of things about my father-in-law, who unfortunately passed away, how he lives with us, things that my friend, right before I did that, my friend passed away in a freak accident. Told me a lot about my friend that I didn't even post about this. Nobody would have known. She was very spot on with things that just were not they were never shared. So that threw me off. I was like, oh my God. And she's also booked out for like 2 years and she's been on every TV show. So I get why. I get it. But for this woman, I was like sitting there just trying to figure this out, what she was saying. And she reminded me of a weatherman. And I hate listening to weathermen or weather women because it's always like, hi guys. It's like Karen on Mean Girls. Like, hi guys. Today I feel like it's like 50% chance that it's already raining.
Oops, it's
Yeah.
raining.
It's raining. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? And so Teresa has this woman on, I think her name was Rosalie. And she was like, so I do think your show is going to come back. I think there's a chance. And I'm like, well, yeah, we all know that. And then she's like, and I think there's a chance that they're going to mix some old with some new, which is what happens every season.
Mhm.
That's not news.
Waiting
And
for
then
something revolutionary here.
waiting for something revolutionary. She said, Dolores will be asked back. We're like, yeah, we kind of
Anything
figured
could have
that one.
told you that's a safe one. Yes.
Then it kind of came off like she was a Teresa fan because she was like, Margaret's time has come to an end. But Jackie Goldschneider has a few fires left to put out. And it's like, no, she doesn't. Jackie Goldschneider should have been cut 2 years ago. She should have been cut 3 seasons ago. Like Jackie Goldschneider is the least interesting on the show. She honestly, and not in a bad, Jackie's rich. She's gorgeous. She's a great author. She has an
She's
incredible
smart.
book, a hot
Mhm.
husband, beautiful, healthy
Hottest
kids.
husband. Yes.
Yeah. Like Jackie wins. It's just
Mhm.
you're not great TV and that's fine. But like when the psychic was like, Margaret's time has come to an end, but Jackie now has a few fires left to put out. I'm like, okay, well, that's another stupid statement, whatever. And then she said, Jennifer Aiden, she's going to be asked back, but she might choose a different route with other opportunities. No, she won't. There's no other opportunities. She told you if she gets fired from the show, she is counting her Ferraris and her 15 children and her 37 bathrooms. There's no other opportunities. Jen Aiden's not getting asked back. I've already talked to multiple people within the Bravo realm about this. Jen Aiden openly sharing the screeners, openly sharing, like ruining the show, sharing things that clearly go against what the contract says. She put the nail in the coffin for her on the show. And Jen Aiden is great. I love Jen Aiden on the show because she's messy and she brings it. And she has no problem with conflict and resolution. So I really enjoy Jen Aiden on the show, but Jen Aiden is not getting asked back. And if she did get asked back, she's not saying no because there's other opportunities. You know what I mean?
You know, what other opportunities? Has anybody looked at Jen Aiden's Instagram page lately? She's basically turned herself into like a walking Amazon store. This woman is trying so hard to become some sort of influencer. I'm not mad at her. She's just throwing all kinds of things at the wall to see what sticks. First, it was Alexis who treats the audience like we're idiots. And now Teresa, this is so insulting. How, and we know this of Teresa, she doesn't have anybody around her that's not going to stop everything, kiss her ass, support her agenda, continue her narrative. Your instinct is correct. Can I validate this? No. But my instinct is completely on point with yours. This was 100% a setup. This was guided to narrate exactly what she wants to happen. This was not something that's like, oh, let me look into your future. Let me see your palm and count how many lines are on your palm. She went in with Teresa's agenda. This was performative. Teresa, stop it.
This is what Jennifer Aiden did last year with her Turkish coffee psychic. Remember
when
the Turkish coffee psychic was sitting there stirring the coffee and she's like, oh. And she was saying things and Jen was like, oh, no way. And they were all just like, girl, no. And that's what this feels like. But then there were 2 other things that came out of this. Aside from the fact that the psychic said there's going to be 2 of the older people coming back, like of the OGs, and then the rest will all be new. But she also said, I think that the show is going to get to a place where we eliminate the husbands. The husbands will be out of the picture so we can get to the core of like girls being friends with girls and back to that. And Teresa said she'd really like that.
Because her husband is the major part of the problem. Her husband's horrendous.
Yeah.
So, internally and externally. And I don't like to talk shit about people's external physical appearance, but when it matches the inside, sorry, he is awful.
Yeah. Well, then, last but not least, you guys, Danielle Staub did an interview. And in this podcast interview, and Danielle is the same one who she sits there and she goes like this. And she watches the show and she watches it on Instagram Live and she goes, that's not how that happened. Oh, Teresa, you stupid bitch, you this and this is, they always treated me. They're filthy animals, disgusting. Bravo Productions liars. They do that. And like, those are the Instagram lives that she's done. So you're not getting asked back either. You went against the family. When you go against the family, when you Nene leaks NBC, you're not usually getting asked back. And yes, I know that she did the corresponding thing with E, but I don't really know what that means, but she'll never be back on Housewives. And Danielle Staub said, this is what I think. I think that there should be a total reboot. And I think it should be with just me and Teresa and all new ladies. And that's where the show could go or should go. And I was like, are you out of your mind?
Well, that sounds horrendous. Like, that's the worst thing. That's the worst case scenario.
That's like the show's canceled.
Nobody's asking for that except for Danielle Staub. Nobody. Show yourself. I want you to show yourself if you want to see that.
Yeah, no, nobody's asking for that. And you literally trashed Danielle Staub. And then they asked her about Kim D, which I was dying because Kim D trashed me a couple of times. And she was like, Kim D, why would she come back? She wasn't even a friend. She wasn't even a paid friend. She was just on the show, like thirsty. And I'm like, oh shit. Danielle and Kim, you guys are both wild. Especially you guys pop off. They pop off. And I'm like, that's about to be a feud on social. So can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. You guys can go get messy all you want.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's good for business. Thanks, gals.
It's good for business. All right. So speaking of Nene leaks, I wanted to move on to this really quick. Let me see if I can just make sure that I bring it up. I don't know if you guys saw this, but people are giving her a lot of shit right now because Nene Leakes' bank account has been, they're saying that it's been garnished for $25,000 debt. Now, this goes back to a lawsuit that was filed against her. It was by MPG Sugarloaf. It was back in 2022, but it was about a commercial property lease. And they said that she ended up taking all of the stuff out of the property and leaving the property without paying the final leases. And I saw all over the internet where Nene Leakes is broke and they garnished her bank account for only $25,000. I just wanted to say, and Nene, I know you don't like me, girl. We had a bad run at a Mariah Carey after party.
You went to Mariah Carey after party?
Yeah, at Mastro's. I got to tell you the story. It was crazy. But I have photos from it too. and my point is what this means, you guys, is that this other company clearly won this lawsuit and they were awarded the funds. And whoever was in charge in this process within the court decided, okay, we are going to garnish those funds to get them immediately paid. So they took $25,000 out of her account. I doubt Nene Leakes is broke. Nene Leakes also still has a home. She has her cars. She has her like if she was that broke, I'm sure she has plenty of Birkins and Chanels that she can sell for 5, 10, 15 grand a piece. $25,000 in the grand scheme of the money that she makes and plus the money that she can make by social media ads. Right. It's not that big of a deal. So I wanted to add that. And then there was another thing that I wanted to talk about really quick, which was Erika Jayne, because Erika, did you see where she lost the battle over the earrings again? Yeah, like no shit.
Sad. And I'm so mad at Bravo for not having Crystal back. Do you remember? I think it was the Barcelona trip, where she was talking about the earrings and something had actually gone good for her. I don't remember exactly what the logistics were, but it looked like she wasn't going to have anything to do with them. And she was so mad at that group of women for not being like, congratulations, you did it. They were all just like, okay, great. But like, there's still like money being stolen from people's lives. This has affected people's lives, generational wealth for people. Like, the whole thing, the whole thing was a mess.
Like, this has been going on for a long time, and we understand that. And while we understand that, that can be true, but also you had this thing that you thought was like a win because you felt like you were validated, but obviously you weren't validated because now you retried the lawsuit and you just got shut down again, which means that you weren't validated.
Yeah, I wish we could see, because you know that production's going to be messy, and we're going to see this on the show, and they're going to cut back to Crystal, because Erika was most upset with Crystal in that moment, and we don't have Crystal to come back for anymore. I don't like it.
Yeah.
They fired the wrong gal.
Christina A said, regardless, the money was used for their lifestyle, and that was the point, not whether she knew or not. It's just morals. Yeah. And yeah, we'll see. But now moving on, have you been following the Nikki Bella Artem situation?
I'm a Dancing with the Stars girly, so yes, very much so.
Can you, in let's say like in 60 seconds, can you just catch everybody up and let us know what's going on?
Okay, so that's Nikki Garcia, aka Nikki Bella. She was a professional wrestler. Artem was a professional dancer on Dancing with the Stars. They're married. Allegedly, there was he was arrested. This isn't alleged. He was arrested for domestic violence. They ended up dropping the charges after weeks of back and forth. Lots of rumors went around as far as like her throwing something at him first before he retaliating. They have a child in the mix. This week, days ago, maybe just 1 or 2 days ago, he all the charges against him were dropped. He spoke out and said, thankful for the people who believed me, thankful that justice was served. At this point, all we can hope is that they separate amicably and figure out how to co-parent.
So, but they are saying that now she might have been the aggressor.
There was a rumor. There's rumors and nastiness, but yeah, that was one rumor. I'm not going to validate that at all, but that was something that I heard. But the charges were dropped, so there's that also.
So kind of like when you say the charges are dropped, it's almost like, well, but Ryan also is an informant, so he probably knew something. And when you say like, well, the charges were dropped, it's like, well, there might have been something that was able to be, proven that Artem was not like the main aggressor in the making of this movie.
Exactly. Because also, if it was 2 people, they could have arrested the second person or filed charges against the woman if she was the aggressor, because that would have been an appropriate move to make too. So maybe it was just a big misunderstanding. I mean, I don't know. It happened behind closed doors. At this point, the only, I think, party that we really need to be concerned about, they have a young child. So hopefully they can get it together, because that child deserves better than this. Any child deserves better than that.
Can I just say, I would never want to get into a fight with Nikki Bella.
And that was the first thing. People are like, would that man mess with Nikki Bella? She is like literally a professional fighter. Well,
and also like, and he's little.
He's small. He's a small man.
He's like that's not like a bad thing. He's just
just a small structured man.
He's a small structure. Thank you.
Yeah, it's your bone structure.
Like, but everything's offensive. So I don't know. Like, it's not like Adam, you shouldn't size shame him. It's like, I'm not size shaming him. I'm saying he has a smaller structure.
Right. Well, I'm like Emily. Emily's very upset because she wears a size 12. And I'm like Emily. I work very hard to be in the figure that I have. Like, it's not easy for me to be this weight. I'm hungry and I work out every day. I feel like I should be a size 4, but I'm not. And I understand Emily's point in that. Like, it sucks and it's frustrating, but again, it's Heather. Like, Heather's not responsible for like coddling you and like constantly like nursing your feelings and your insecurities that you're projecting.
Yeah. Oif.
Can I say one more thing about this episode of Real Housewives of Orange County?
Oh God. Here we go.
It's going to be so quick. Ryan, thank you. Ryan has his underwear taken in. I am all about having your clothes tailored. That was actually a recommendation from Joan Rivers. But when I heard he had his underwear tailored, I had one thing pop in my mind.
What?
Can you switch the camera over?
Wait, are you saying?
If you're having your underwear taken in, is it because there's too much room?
So you're trying to say?
I'm not trying to say. I'm insinuating he has a small peen.
So you're saying if this is the normal that would fit in your underwear, that this might be what we're working with.
I'm saying he has a small peen that can't fit his boxers.
Well, I don't know.
Allegedly.
I don't know if that's true. I've never seen it.
I don't either, but that's what when I heard that, that's what went into my mind. That's all I'm saying.
See, that's not what went in my mind, because I had a roommate and he used to, like, we met at something called IMTA, which was this International Model and Talent Association competition in New York. We met at this competition and he, like, literally was the most fit, had the best body, all of the things. And he was from New York and had this very interesting way about him. He would get everything tailored and he was very specific, almost like kind of like a serial killer, where he would walk past like the kitchen table and he could slightly see like something that might be tiny bit off.
This
and then
is very
he would
Patrick Bateman. Yes.
Yeah, he would walk in and he'd be like, Adam, I'm not trying to be annoying. The throw pillows on the couch, there's stripes. Why, if all of the stripes are vertical, like if you get off the couch, bro, just fix it. Like it's not a horizontal stripe, it's a vertical stripe. And I signed a 6-month lease. So after the 6 months, I was like, no.
Toodles.
No. Bye. And I would lock myself in the room and he would come knock on the door and be like, hey, bro, you want to go to Zara and go shopping? I'm like, no, I'm broke. I don't want to go to Zara and go shopping. And I don't want to. No. But like, he was very specific and he had everything tailored. And also,
love that.
I know that he, from friends who would hook up and stuff, like that was not the case of having a little thing. Okay. So I'm saying maybe Ryan does not.
Did he have his underwear tailored? Having your pants tailored, first of all, the way Ryan's having his pants tailored is hideous. Like that tight, like it's a mess. But again, a student of Joan Rivers, Joan Ranger's salute, she said, it doesn't matter where you buy your clothes. You don't have to have Armani. You don't have to have Versace. It's about the way your clothes fit you. Go to the store, buy something you can afford, and then take it to a tailor and have them make it fit your body. I am all about that. And as a person with like an oddly shaped body, very heavy on top, and I'm very slim on the bottom, I have to have things fitted. But when I heard underwear, that's where I spun. I went out, I turned into the Tasmanian devil. I'm like, the math isn't mathing. Why is he doing this? This is extreme. Why would this be necessary? And that's where I landed.
Also, like bathing suits and stuff, they sell things to fit you in different cuts. Like you can find, it's just excessive. And I love that you love Joan Rivers. Did I ever tell you my Jason's Joan Rivers story?
You can tell me again because I love it.
Okay. Did I tell you?
You did tell me, but the people listening might not have heard.
About the Carlisle?
Mm-hmm. I love it. Tell it again, please. Tell it.
Jason will correct me if I'm saying this wrong because he edits and puts this into a podcast. But I believe it was because Jason used to go up and take care of Elaine Stritch and she wasn't allowed to drink and people would try to tell her what to do and she did not care. And Joan Rivers would also hang out with Elaine Stritch. This was at the Carlisle. And she would ask for like soda waters and stuff and have vodka poured into them. But it was like either Fantas or soda water, some sort of bottle. And then they would sit there. And then when the caretakers or anybody else who would come in would, see them, they would just be like, I don't know what it is, But Jason used to have to go there. And part of his job was to watch TV with Elaine Stritch.
That's amazing. Iconic.
Yeah. What a great job.
Did he get that through like connections through like the Cirque world or?
No, it was actually his ex-boyfriend. Who I think was doing a show with Bernadette Peters, and they were all connected. Yeah. Bernadette Peters gave Jason a boxer named Rocco that somebody abandoned in the winter in the middle of this park in New York City. And she took it in because she has this fundraiser every year, this charity event where she tries to get animals like shelters. And she convinced Jason to get taken this boxer. Well, the boxer was a big, dopey, fun-loving boxer. And Jason came home and he had a gas stove, and the boxer went up on the gas stove like, paw, 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 paw. Jason walked in and the whole place smelled like gasoline. Like you could have lit a match and the thing was going to blow up. But we could do stories for days.
Oh my God. And I'm like terrified now. My dog like turning on my stove.
Oh no. When we moved here, they were like, oh, sorry. You're one of the only ones that we're building that doesn't have a gas range, but you can also, there's a connection for it. And we were like, no, that's perfect.
Oh
we don't
my
want that.
gosh. Yeah, one of my dogs has figured out, Rex Manning figured out how to open the doggy gate so he can escape. Yeah. Like one of the human ones that like I can't open up half the time because it's child-proof. My dog figured it out.
Yeah, they're so smart. Our dog now, because it's in South Carolina, you guys, so they build up. So your house is like on different levels. And she looks out from the second floor, watches, knows where we're pulling in, and she's a puppy. She's going to school. She starts school with Mary on Monday, not Cosby, but she starts school with Mary, and she has learned to watch out, and she waits for us to leave. She waits for the car, and then she goes to tear up everything that she possibly can. And then when we get home, she's sitting there and she's looking, and we see her through the window, and we're like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then we walk in, and she disappears, and we're like, Pippa,
get over here, you naughty little girl.
But Pippa is going to school. She starts on Monday, and that's when I stop wearing my hat. So, guys, it's going to be so fun.
Oh, my God. Monday's a big day. And can I give shout out to Pippa and her lashes? Like, iconic.
I love her.
I mean, those lashes are goals.
I know.
She's a pretty bitch.
She's such a pretty bitch. We took her to go get groomed the other day, and they were like, we're going to cut her like lashes, like way down. And I was like, no, we're not. I said, and like I had to sit there and size it out. And then Jason said, because I dropped him off, Jason was like, I'm going to go with you to pick her up. This is like her first grooming. I can't wait to see what she looks like. And I said, okay. And we brought the other 2 dogs with them. And they were like, oh my God, your dogs were amazing. Who's signing the bill? Jason's like, I got the bill. And they handed us a bill for $500 to groom 2 20-pound dogs and then our small camel. And Jason looked and he goes, what the fuck? Because we were going to go get tacos after. We were going to do like tacos and margaritas, like happy hour at Viva Tequila.
Oh.
Or not Vita Tequila, but Viva Tequila. That's actually what it's called, you guys. But we were going to be like happy hour. And Jason's like,
Taco Bell.
Well, I hope that leftover lasagna is really fucking good because we're eating on that for 2 days.
Good
I
Lord.
was so mad. Because I called and I was like, guys, what would you say quoting wise this would be? And they're like, well, we really don't know until you get in here, until we like assess the animals. And I'm like, I fucking hate that.
Oh, yeah. And I hate having to ask for prices all the time. Like,
just give me a menu. It's like one of those restaurants. I don't trust it. Guys, I am not Anna Delvey, a fake heiress. And I also don't have Taylor Swift money. And instead of learning nothing or taking nothing away, I've taken a lot away from the I've experienced. And one of those things is if I walk into a restaurant and it's like, oh, pomme frite with prosciutto, this and fig, and then it has no price, I'm like, you and your pomme frite and your prosciutto and your fig, because I know that shit is $23 and you're going to give me a tiny little plate and I'm hungry.
And it's going to have free. It's French fries. It's French fries.
It's French fries with a little prosciutto and fig, and you're not getting me for $22. But like, I don't trust menus that don't have prices. Yeah. I don't.
Your food better be damn good.
Yeah. When Ken and Lisa used to come in, Lisa would order anything. Like when Jason was managing Pump, Lisa would always she would order with the rest of the, like whoever she would bring in. She always had friends with her and she would always change it up. And Ken was always the same. He would always order a plate with 7 fries, 7 French fries. It better not be 8. Then we're wasting.
Wow.
There better not be 6. There was 7 fries and it would come out and it would be this little tiny plate with just like the 7 fries. But some people we're all different, you guys. We're all different. some of us get our underwear tailored. Some of us order 7 fries. Some of us have a fear of menus with no prices. Welcome to the world.
It's chaos and we're living in it.
It's chaos and we're living in it. So, you know, if you guys need somebody to talk to, then go to betterhelp.com and use code up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But before we end up getting off of here again, don't forget to check out Blue Mean, everybody, especially with their new Face Pro 2.0. I can't wait to start playing with it. I've used it twice now, and I can definitely feel a difference in how it feels. I think it's a lot more user-friendly, even though I didn't have any complaints about the first one. But I'm putting the link in the description. New technology. And in the comment section. And then for those of you guys who don't know, well, Ashley's going to let you know, because I'm going to bring it up right here on Instagram. Taste of Reality. Boom.
There we are. Taste of Reality, or it's at taste_of_reality. That's where you can find our Instagram. We cover mostly Bravo, but we go all across the spectrum. We covered the Catherine McPhee, David Foster having issues in their marriage not too long ago. We've been obsessed with the Anna Delvey of it all on Dancing with the Stars. I think Imani and I, and guys, please don't hate us for this, I think we're two of the minority that find Anna Delvey absolutely hilarious. Do I condone what she did? Of course not. But I think, and this is something that registered yesterday, I think the problem with Anna Delvey, I think a lot of people are upset with her when in reality, she was given an opportunity to be on a show. Who would say no to that? You should, I feel like the upset should be with the people who cast her. That's just my opinion.
But then also, like, if somebody gives you an opportunity, like, what did you take from this? And I was trying to figure out, is that like, is it like, not like a language barrier, but just a different, you know?
And that's
like,
fair.
But I was trying to understand, but also she's very just like,
aloof.
Like, you're dumb, I'm not. So
I'm going to say your middle name. She can be very coy.
Yeah, she could be very coy. But she does carry herself like, you guys are stupid and poor, and
you're poor.
I'm not stupid and poor.
But she said, what the question was, what are you taking from this competition? What is she taking? Nothing. She didn't win the trophy. And also, she's a known thief. She doesn't want to be known for taking anything because she's been to jail for taking things. What did you take? Nothing. Of course she's going to say nothing. She's a convict.
Can you imagine if they would have been like, what are you taking from this? She was like, actually, they won't even let me have the dresses. So
right.
Really
like she wants to keep the bedazzled ankle monitors, I'm sure. Like whatever they put on those ankle monitors, like she probably wants to keep. Did you see the meme? I died because the guy who played the dad on Family Matters, and he was the cop on that show, and the cop in Die Hard. They had a police car on stage during his dance, and then they showed it like being driven off, and it was the same episode where Anna was eliminated, and they're like, well, at least Anna has her escort out for the day.
Oh my God.
Y'all are freaking funny on the internet. The internet is a wild place. I keep on laughing.
The internet is wild. And if you guys want to catch up on that and not just see the social media, but you want to hear see the full articles, well, Ashley, where can they go?
Did it again. Wrong direction. tasteofreality.com. Join us. We have the stories. We get snarky. But also, most important, we have an amazing community, the Taste Buds, and they are in the comments. Go all the way down to the bottom section. The discussion section's called Discuss. And again, the people on the internet and the Taste Buds are funny people. Keep me laughing all the time.
I love it. And guys, again, for anybody who is still dealing with the storm or dealt with the storm, sending all of the love to you guys. I know my family is pretty much based out of Florida, so they did well, but that doesn't mean everybody's family did. So just sending love. And I hate, Ashley and I both agreed on this, like Mother Nature with some of these things, like they suck. There's no positive way of looking at this in any way. It's just devastating. And yeah, I felt like it would be odd not to acknowledge that. And geez, I was looking at, before we get off here too, I was looking at how they're building the rest of these houses in my neighborhood, and I see how they're like building them out of wood. And in Florida, we build everything out of like concrete because we have
Mhm.
hurricanes, and they're called stick frames or something like that. And I'm like looking and I'm like, there's a fucking tornado. That's what we're living in.
It
This
sounds
is,
very Three Little Pigs, and the tornado is the big bad wolf.
yeah, no,
That does
no,
not sound good.
no,
No. Plus termites. They all have a ton of humidity, right? Like,
yeah, no,
yeah,
it's
no,
not
that's yeah.
that.
We love our friends and family in Florida, so yeah. Please
Yeah.
take care and be safe.
I agree. All right, guys, we love you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Friday. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Go check out tasteofreality.com and everywhere on social media. And then I will be back Monday for another live, but this weekend I'll still be posting videos. And let's get ready for October month.
It's fall, y'all.
It's fall, y'all. Love you guys.
Love you
Bye.
guys. Bye.